mind, what's the state of play with Eubank now? Obviously they've got one fight left with you on the contract. How's it going to work? Is he going to
So we've had a couple of meetings with them. Well, my dad has, because I'm just taking a step back. You know.
Are they generally annoyed by what's happening?
Yeah. I think in Senior's head, he's done everything absolutely perfectly. You know, in my head, they've made a terrible mistake. It's cost them millions of pounds. Doesn't mean they won't get there at some point, because he's a very good fighter, and they do have a good product. And actually, there is the argument, maybe this was the plan all along, that this hype created off the back of this process has benefited Chris Eubank Jr.'s profile. Yeah. So maybe it was a genius move. I haven't got time for those moves. We've got so much going on. I just need to know, do you want the fight or not? Do you want these millions of pounds and this fight you told me to go and deliver for you? Well, it's there. Yeah, okay, well, can you come back to me, please? Do you want it? Look, you've got 24 hours. Sign it or move on.
How frustrating is that for you? Because you know how talented Chris Eubank Jr. is, but then...
Well, it's frustrating because I work on a common sense basis. And listen, maybe it's just common sense to me, but I like to think I've got a good understanding of common sense. And when you ask me to make a fight and I deliver it and offer you the chance to fight and make millions of pounds, that's frustrating when I can't get it over the line, because it's hard enough to make a fight in the first place. So, you know, when I made the Spike O'Sullivan fight as a final eliminator, I always felt we'd go and fight Daniel Jacobs next. But then the Nick Blackwell fight come up and they wanted to fight for the British title. I didn't agree. But they felt like to win the British title was good for the brand. Okay, get that argument. Then we fight Tom Doran, which was a marking time fight for the Golovkin fight. Delivered that, and now they want to fight Tommy Langford, what the board have ordered. Which, you know, no disrespect to Tommy Langford, he's a good young fighter, but you know, we talk about Jacobs and Golovkin and Doran and Langford. So there's a value to the Langford fight in my head financially, and it's probably nowhere near the value of what they perceive it to be.
Is there a chance that could be on there? Or is there a chance he could be on there, Eubank?
Maybe, but that goes to purse bids in 10 days. I mean, I had a meeting the other day with Andy Allen from Queensbury, which was quite unusual. We sat down, we had a cup of coffee for 2 hours. The board have ordered 4 or 5 fights between our guys and their guys, and I think, I wouldn't say the Cold War is over, but I think fighters are earning too much money, which is great for fighters, but some people can't compete. We can, because we have a great business and we have a great model, but other guys who are trying to compete are going to end up getting themselves into trouble. So I think, you know, it's kind of like a conversation. Sometimes you go into like negotiations where it's kind of like you're sitting in a dentist chair and you're laying back and you've got your mouth open and there's some bloke with a drill in your mouth and you're laying in a chair and you just reach to the side and grab his nuts and you look at each other in the eye and say, no, we're not going to hurt each other, are we? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like that, right? And it's,
you didn't grab his nuts?
No, I didn't grab his nuts, but I think there needs to be a little bit of sense as well. We can just be bullish and say, no, fuck you. We're going to overpay everyone, but it's not always great for business. But the problem with British boxing at the moment, and it's not really a problem, but it is probably for promoters, is it used to be something mega to become a world champion. Now it's a wonderful achievement and you are part of the club. But now, if it's not a world title fight, fans aren't always of interest, or the depth of fans isn't there. Do you know what I mean? Like a really good British title fight nowadays is like the 3rd spot. I mean, like Coyle against Nurse, yeah? That was our 4th fight, 4th TV fight on Saturday. A year ago, 2 years ago, that was headlining in Hull. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's why you're seeing fighters take big fights. Brook against Golovkin, Frampton against Santa Cruz, because you have to do something great to take that next step. Frampton's done it, Brook's trying to do it, Croller's trying to do it against Linares, and that's great news for the fans. And almost like standard world title defences aren't that attractive anymore, you know. So I think everyone's under pressure to deliver those super fights, and that's good news for the fans.